Our top story at this hour, the hearing on the anticipatory bail plea of Saurav and Gaurav Luthra began today at the Delhi's Rohini Court. Representing the Goa Police, the counsel told the court that when officers visited the brothers' Delhi home, their mother and sister claimed to have no knowledge of their whereabouts and the phone numbers were also switched off. Based on this, a non-bailable warrant was issued. The fire department informed the court that the nightclub had no fire NOC and that the bar had only a single entry and exit point, which is a critical violation of the fire safety norms. The Goa Council alleged that Luthras are evading investigation despite the gravity of the incident in which 25 people lost their lives. He said that false information about their medical condition had been submitted, pointing out that while the brothers could suddenly travel abroad, they were refused to appear before investigators earlier. It was also revealed that a medical prescription submitted in court reportedly came from a cosmetology clinic, raising further doubts. The Goa side argued that the anticipatory bail is completely bogus case amid an instance here by both the brothers to avoid arrest, and this in fact is a bogus plea that the Delhi court is hearing as of today. All right, that's the latest as far as Luthra brothers is concerned. Their anticipatory bail plea is said to have been denied by the Rohini Court, hearing the matter today, where Goa Police as well as the Fire Safety Department for Goa appeared in the court citing non-compliance by Luthra brothers. My colleague Deepak joining us from the newsroom. Deepak, more information coming in as far as what transpired today by the way of that anticipatory bail plea in Rohini Court today. It appears that court has come down heavily on Luthra brothers.
That's right, Shweta, and the court has clearly said that the anticipatory bail plea will never be approved by the court because the medical prescription that was submitted by Luthra brothers was completely bogus as claimed by the prosecution, because this particular prescription was obtained from a cosmetology clinic, which clearly goes on to show that this was nothing but a proper conspiracy to avoid arrest, and they instantly flew to Thailand just after the tragedy at their nightclub in Goa. And what we need to understand is that the business deal that was cited by them, initially for their, travel to Thailand, they said that it was because of a business deal. But what was the business deal that was so important than the lives of 25 innocent partygoers who lost their lives in the nightclub in Goa? We need to understand this, Shweta, because as a responsible club owner or a licensee as claimed by the Luthra brothers, you're supposed to visit the club when a tragedy occurs. But instead, what these two did, the Luthra brothers, they instantly booked a ticket. The fire broke out at around midnight, and just an hour later, they flew off to Thailand saying that business deals were important. And once they went to Thailand, they approached their legal team and they said that we're filing for an anticipatory bail plea in the Delhi court. And they hope that the court will also give them some sort of relief. But the court has found that the medical prescriptions claimed, given by the Luthra brothers were completely bogus, because this was one of their tactics, one of their strategies to avoid arrest. And the Delhi court, like you clearly mentioned, has come down heavily on the Luthra brothers, saying that they must take accountability. And it's just a matter of hours, Shweta, before they're brought back to India.
All right, it's going to be a matter of hours before they're brought back to India. They have been detained earlier in Thailand, in Phuket particularly, by the Thai authorities after their passports were revoked by Indian authorities, and their bail application currently being heard in the Rohini Court. Before I let you go, Deepak, among a series of revelations that were made by Goa authority today in court, one came by the way of the fact that not only have they submitted a medical document which has come from a cosmetology clinic, but also that they fled the country hours after that fire broke out. So the intention was clear from the beginning to not face the law and then file an anticipatory bail application.
That's right. Their intention was clear from the moment they booked the tickets to Thailand. Because like I mentioned, Shweta, you are supposed to take stock of the situation at that particular nightclub, which you claim is part of your chain of restaurants across India, but instead they booked a flight and they went to Thailand. But what we need to really understand are the lapses that were found at this particular nightclub. There were no fire and safety protocols that were followed. The safety of these partygoers were thrown to the wind, and quite literally, the firefighters didn't have any sort of a way to approach the nightclub, and it was from a distance of 400 meters that they were watching, and they were waiting helplessly to somehow find a route to go to that particular nightclub. But unfortunately, the rescue operations were also hampered, and they were also hindered because of the narrow lanes. And this is something that even the local authorities must take into account, because the local authorities are said to be hand in glove with these club owners, because how did a club with no fire and safety protocols run under their watch? This is something that needs to be asked, Shweta.
In fact, there was only a single entry and a single exit. That's what the fire department is also telling the court as of this morning. Stay with us, Deepak. In fact, more news coming in there. In a major revelation, documents have also exposed what appears to be a vast network of shell companies linked to the Luthra brothers, the prime accused in the Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub fire case in Goa. Despite projecting themselves as billion rupee players in the hospitality sector, official paperwork tells a sharply different story. A deep dive into corporate records show that the brothers are connected to 42 companies and LLPs, many of which appear to exist only on paper. In fact, a majority of these entities are registered to the same address in Hudson Lane in the northwest Delhi. And such clustering of multiple companies at a single location typically signals red flags, suggesting possible shell operations, layering of transactions, Benami property, Benami ownership structures, and potential money laundering. The brothers have also claimed a strong international presence, including outlets in Phuket and Thailand. However, an investigation found no operational establishment, no customer reviews, and no verified business address in Phuket, casting further doubt on the credibility of their public claims. While the Goa fire case already is putting Luthras under intense scrutiny, these new findings could further significantly widen the scope of investigation. Authorities are now examining whether the extensive company network was used to divert funds, conceal ownership, or inflate the group's financial footprint as well. My colleague Jitendra Sharma is joining us with more details. Jitendra, Luthra brothers की financial information निकल कर सामने आ रही है और पता चल रहा है कि कई सारी shell companies दोनों से लिंक थी. इनफैक्ट कई companies का केवल एक ही एड्रेस था और 40 से ऊपर ऐसी कंपनी पाई गई जो कि केवल हडसन लेन नॉर्थ वेस्ट दिल्ली से लिंक्ड है. ये सजेशन माना जा रहा है कि कई सारी कंपनीज इनमें से शेल कंपनीज हो सकती हैं.
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए कल अदालत के अंदर लूथरा ब्रदर्स ने खुद ये कबूल किया, उनके वकील ने, कि तकरीबन 27 के करीब उनके ऐसे रेस्टोरेंट और बार्स हैं जो कि देश के अलग अलग राज्यों के अंदर चल रहे हैं. इसके अलावा आज जो डिटेल आई है जीएसटी रिकॉर्ड है, जिसमें साफ पता चलता है कि तकरीबन 42 के करीब ऐसी कंपनियां हैं जो रजिस्टर्ड कराई हैं लूथरा ब्रदर्स ने, और इनमें से ज्यादातर कंपनियां सिर्फ कागजों पर हैं, उनके अंदर कोई काम नहीं होता है. चाहे ये हॉस्पिटलिटी अलग अलग कारोबार से जुड़ी हुई है, चाहे रेस्टोरेंट का कारोबार हो या फिर कोई अन्य कारोबार हो, उनके अंदर किसी भी तरीके का कोई भी काम नहीं होता है. जबकि ये जो कंपनियां हैं वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ कागजों पर हैं. और खास बात ये कि सभी कंपनियों का जो पता है, यानी कि जो रजिस्टर्ड कराई गई हैं कंपनियां, वो हडसन लेन के एक ही एड्रेस के ऊपर कराई गई हैं. तो लिहाजा अब इस मामले में जो तफ्तीश है वो दूसरी तरीके से भी शुरू, यानी कि जो फाइनेंशियल अनियमितताएं बरती गई हैं इस केस को लेकर, उस नजरिए से भी अब अन्य जांच एजेंसियां लूथरा ब्रदर्स के खिलाफ जल्द कार्रवाई शुरू कर सकती हैं. जी.
All right, Jitendra, thank you very much for those details. Luthra brothers under intense scrutiny of investigative authorities after 42 companies are found to be registered to just one single address here in the national capital. Paper trail there exposing possible shell company network, also raising questions on the international operations of Luthra brothers. And the brothers, their companies are now under intense scrutiny.